Hey, yo, what's good, everyone? Hello, welcome back to another Rev YouTube live stream and another big Saturday showdown. It's gonna be a classic. Will the people speak for tomboy supremacy? We'll have to wait and see. But welcome back, everyone. It's good to see you as always. Hope you're doing well on this fine, I would say excellent Saturday. Now, of course, the regulars, you know the drill. But if you're new, first of all, welcome in. Second of all, we do a little thing called attendance, a little bit of roll call, ladies and gentlemen. So, if you are a sentient human being and you can hear the words coming out of my face, please say something in the chat. Anything. I beg of you. Let it all hang out. And also, while you're at it, consider liking the stream, subbing as well, and if you're a Giga Chad, become a member. We got nearly 1,000 members right now. Also consider gifting memberships to spread the Revling joy. And also, super chatting not just to help towards today's goal, but also to place your vote for your favorite, or at least your aesthetically favorite, stellar Blade protagonist. Because now we have Eve from the first game, and now the new protagonist for Blood Rain, Evie. And of course, you got kind of a classic waifu who was very important for a lot of things, but now we got some tomboy supremacy going on here. We'll see where the folks are all lining up on that one. I got my paper and pen, writing physical notes, so if you want to vote on that very important campaign today, let your vote be known in your super chat. Yes. Of course, stream while I'm at work. What a better distraction than this. What a better distraction than this. Look at all you guys checking in today. I'm glad to see all of you. Again, I hope you're doing well. Let me crack open a cold one with the boys here. And by a cold one, I mean a Celsius. These are good. There, we got it. Tropical vibe is the flavor for today. Astolfo? Where's Astolfo coming from? But let me see. Let's switch to the main screen here so you guys can see my wonderful face. Welcome in. I'm alive. I'm alive and live. Welcome in. Here's your crowns. Oh, Professor Chad giving out the crowns. You'll love to see it. Crack open with some fizz. It's fizzy. That's for sure. Let's give it a taste. Oh, that's good. Well, that's prime material right there, ladies and gentlemen. But we got lots to talk about today. Okay. First off, Lich Emperor with the 5 saying tomboys are life. Well, I think I can put you down for Evie. That's 5 right off the bat, starting strong, ladies and gentlemen. And let's get the official screen here. Yo, and Billy Donuts is here as well. We got crowns and donuts going out. Very based, very cool. But it's Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. That means we continue on with another Saturday showdown. The most important competition you'll ever see. Today, is a bit of the old with the new. And by old, I mean old as in like 2 years ago. But we got Eve from the original Stellar Blade versus Evie, the new face of Stellar Blade for the upcoming release of Stellar Blade Blood Rain. So really it comes down to the classic versus the new. And we're going to get through all the Twitter drama involving Evie because people are freaking out as per usual. And I think this is going to be a good competition. I think the tomboy enthusiasts have some work to do today. This is going to be a Herculean effort for Evie, but I believe it can happen. It can happen for sure. But that is the competition today. And we'll tally them up throughout the stream to see where we're at. But that is the sitch. That's right. Then we got 5 from Running the Train saying, Celsius, lame. It's all about the Venom energy. Half it cause, it doesn't matter. Gyaru is my type. Now is that the next Stellar Blade protagonist? I mean, they're already getting like the pedo baiting allegations. Are they going to get the racist ones too? They should have gone all in. They should have gone all in. Nothing gets people more angry than a tan anime character, that's for sure. Yeah, happy Saturday, everyone. Thank you, thank you. But we got lots to go through today. We're going to talk about the Stellar Blade drama. We're going to also talk about the Hasan and Pegasus situation. Get some updates regarding that. Very funny stuff. And we're going to look at the Wolverine drama. Because we have a little Sweet Baby Inc. involvement right there. And what else do we got? Oh, Sykkuno has returned. And we're going to watch some stuff regarding that. Little continuation of a situation we talked about a lot. What was it, like a month or two ago? Time is flying, ladies and gentlemen. Time is flying. Did you see Asmongold's take on Evie? He also said, yeah, we saw the thing with the babies and Down syndrome. That's a whole nother situation. But yeah, his take involving Evie is not a good one. I'm not too surprised by it, to be honest with you. But it's definitely not a good take. No. But unlike the hordes of people who get mad about all this sort of stuff or have disagreements, I can disagree with him without going crazy. Without being an anti or unhinged or any of that stuff. A lost art these days. Of course. And, we got a 10 from Quad Manny saying, hello, Rev. Opinion on Fruit Punch and Eve is your vote. That's 10 for Eve right there. Thank you very much. Opinion on Fruit Punch. I mean, it slaps. Nothing beats a good old-fashioned Hawaiian punch. Have you guys also seen the, it's not really Hawaiian punch, but just like punch mixed with pickles? That whole trend is just a mess, to say the least. A big mess. People having like 35 times their daily sugar intake in mere seconds. Atrocious. We have a health epidemic. Hawaiian punch slaps. Kool-Aid, that's what it is. Yes, people are getting like giant vats of Kool-Aid, mixing it with just nothing but more and more sugar, and then putting pickles in it and eating it. It is disgusting. Disgusting. Hey everyone.
Hello.
It's Straub.
Hello.
Wife has arrived. No, it's the pickles themselves. El Diabito should be the name of the trend.
What was disgusting?
The pickle thing, where people are putting like Kool-Aid and pickles, and it's like, have you seen that?
That's super old, isn't it?
I guess it's like resurging
Like
now.
sour candy and stuff.
I don't know if that's it, but people are having like 35 times their daily sugar intake in like a couple seconds. It's not a good health trend.
You said the pickles?
Yeah.
Pickles are also so bad for sodium.
I mean, at this point, they're already suffering greatly. Yo, and Karasub, thank you for becoming a member. Welcome into the Revling Army. Thank you very much for that. And also, Oliver with a 5 saying, you know, as a hardcore Stellar Blade enjoyer, and since I don't know much about Evie yet, I'm going to have to put my vote for the GOATs. Eve. Thank you, that's 5 more. Thank you very much for Eve. Thank you, thank you. And Sensei with the 4 saying Evie. Love hand-to-hand combat. The combat looks phenomenal, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the 4. Appreciate that. This is going to be a good showdown, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a good one. Here it is again for those just tuning in. Vote with your super chats. Do not let your GOAT lose. Eve versus Evie. Straub, who you got?
Well, personally, I've never played the game before, so
fair enough.
I have no like personal stakes.
Just
in the
aesthetics.
Matter. Aesthetically, Evie's cuter to me.
Ah. Hear that, folks? You gonna let Straub down?
She just looks a little, I don't know, she just looks cuter to me. They're both cute, but
Evie's very cute, I have to say.
She's more like, I don't know if alternative is the right word looking. I don't know, something about the messy hair. And like, I don't know, just the face. They both have cute faces, but
Absolutely.
I think it's the hair.
I do like the hair. And you know what? Last stream, I think it was last stream, I talked about a critical shortage of short-haired waifus in all kinds of media. And I guess my demands were answered. Stellar Blade completely redid their new game just for me. They were watching the stream.
Yeah, that was completely based on aesthetics, though. I don't know anything about their personalities.
Correct. And that's another fair thing if you haven't played Stellar Blade or seen anything. Just go off of aesthetics. That's it. That's it right there. Evie's hair is really cute / cool. I agree. Young Catalyst with a 5 saying, know anyone weeb enough to dye light color hair with Kool-Aid while cosplaying? This excludes the blue-haired nose ring mafia.
I dyed my hair with Kool-Aid in 7th grade, but my hair was not light. It was brown, but it had brown box dye on it, so it made my hair green. It was like a, but not like a light, like a electric green. It was like a dingy, dirty green. It was awful. I was so sad.
Some more amazing fun facts about Straub that you only get here, live on YouTube.
I don't think I ever shared that
Like
before,
the stream.
actually. Yeah.
I think I vaguely remember you saying that.
Yeah, it would have been just a long time ago.
Yeah. You know, and Oliver with the 2 saying secret vote for Evie because of her fighting style. Fair enough. The fighting style looks really cool. I will say. Thank you for the 2. And Karasub with a 5. Also saying, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to go with both. Yes, both. Okay. That is an option. So that's $250 for each. You know what? I understand. This is a tough choice. Very tough choice. Yo, Entropy with a 250 RSD saying, haven't played it, but going with Evie. She reminds me of good old sci-fi stuff. Fair enough. Fair enough. We got to get a conversion on that. We got to keep it legit. That's Serbian. Okay. That's a 250. Right there. All right. Easy enough. And then we got 5 from Blank saying, Evie made me realize that I like tomboy girls all along. You know what? Someone's discovering something about themselves. You know what? The game is already helping people out.
Well, tomboy girls are so cute.
They are. But now on Twitter these days, they'll call them trans. They'll push for it. I'm marking it now, folks. Bookmark it, stamp it, do what you gotta do. All the people calling Evie pedo bait and all this stuff, give it a couple months, they'll be trying to claim her. They'll claim her as like this girl boss. They'll say she's like bi or something, or polyamorous, or whatever they can come up with, and they'll try to claim Evie. Mark my words. Nekozilla with the 5 saying, Evie is cool and reminds me of Alita Battle Angel. A lot of people are saying that, but I prefer Eve all the way. Eve is the goats. Can we also add Raven to the vote? Raven's goated too, yeah. Also a very great design, but we're going to keep it simple for today. But your vote definitely goes down for Eve. We're pretty gridlocked right now, I have to say. It's going to be a tight one, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a tight one, but we're going to get started on all the actual content here in a second. Don't you worry. Okay? Alright, what do we got here? Malin with 100 DOP. Saying Evie, because I like short hair. Straight to the points. Got you down. Good stuff. We have a very, pretty solid balance so far. Evie is winning. Pretty surprising. And Catalyst with the 10 saying, I follow Celestium, so I'd take a tomboy. I still can't decide between Eve and Evie, though. Just split the money between them. You got it, King. You got it. 5 for each. Balanced, as all things should be. Thank you for that. But yes, for those just tuning in, we're doing a little Saturday showdown between Eve and Evie. The old protagonist versus the new. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Hasan and the MorePegasus situation as well. And the Wolverine drama. And last but not least, the return of Sykkuno. Which will definitely ruffle some feathers and make some people very angry. But now we got 20. What are the oranges for? From Phantom saying, I'm still pretty attracted to Eve, gotta give it to her, but I am super excited for Stellar Blade 2. Alright, that's 20, a 20 spot for Eve. Thank you very much, dude. And then Just the Slime with the 5 saying, have to go with Evie for the cool Ghost in the Shell vibes the trailer had. I have to agree. Great vibes, immaculate vibes from the trailer. That's 5 more for Evie. This is looking good, ladies and gentlemen. This is looking tight. And then we got 20 from Corbin saying, please save this for the very end of the stream to give to whoever has the least vote money. Underdog bonus. All right. You know what? That's good. I'm glad you did that early. I'm going to make an actual little, like, separate box for, which I'll put on the back of my paper. I'll call it tiebreakers. We got 20 marked down.
Underdog bonus.
The underdog bonus. Then we got Spartan with the 2 saying, the tomboy, of course, short hair for the win. All right, 2 more for Evie. What if they're like, no, I meant Eve. I'm very confused right now. Thank you for that, Spartan. Yeah, it's going to be a close one. Definitely a close one. But let me swap over here. And we'll get started on the first thing for today. Which, of course, is Stellar Blade. Wait. I was going to say... I had multiple things open at the same time. There we go. Okay. Tiebreakers. Tiebreakers always make it very interesting. We did have a tie because of it once. And at this rate, it's going to be tight. So if your waifu, your aesthetic is up there, do not let her down. She will be disappointed in you. And you don't want that. You don't want to disappoint your goat. Alright? Impossible. Can we just like both characters? Absolutely. Absolutely. But only one can win. Obviously, it's Saturday Showdown. There's no participation trophies around here. Yeah, but we'll have a tiebreaker of some variety. We'll see. People were mixed on whether we had like a vote tiebreak last time.
People did not like that.
People did not like that. We had to roll that back. We'll figure something out. Captain Yan Yan with the 5 saying, with their complaining, it's pretty clear that they are very much envious of Asians, which is a given on how they reacted about it. Pretty sad. Yeah, there's always something with how social media reacts to any Asian-inspired character or just anything that has an Asian-inspired design, anything that looks like anime, they react to very differently than Western ones.
Well, I feel like it's just because it's really, like, cute and attractive, and I think a lot of women have a complex because they're like, no, I'm a grown woman, it's fine that I look like this, and I don't need to play a child, but it's like, it's not that it looks like a child, it's just that, like, they don't feel cute and pretty enough, and they're like, you know,
get 'em.
Oh, it's good that I have body hair and that I have all my curves. It's like, well, no one's saying you can't be curvy, but, like, there's a difference.
Also, can you just, like, look at this and be like, I don't like that.
It's just
I'm
projection is what it is.
Oh,
like,
you're gonna see some projection, don't you worry. But Sensei coming in with a 5 for Evie, saying I always liked tomboys, and to quote Spike Spiegel, I love the kind of woman that can kick my behind. Wise words from our space cowboy. I appreciate that very much. 5 for Evie. Good, good, good. Projection is the theme of today's, today's video and this portion of the stream. So I'm going to wait like 30 seconds, and then we're going to get right into it. We'll read donos after we cover this and update everything. But again, for those just tuning in, Saturday Showdown, E versus Evie, catch the fever. Be there or be square. That's right. Then we got 10 from Phantom saying my wife watches a lot of these Asian dramas. I see all those actors look really young. She explained to me it is the idol culture, so this is on par with that. Absolutely. Just a different culture. People look different around the world. I know. This is shocking information to a portion of the internet. Curves are coming back, baby.
There's nothing wrong.
Yeah, in fact, a lot of people really love curves.
Well, what I'm saying too is, like, you can look however you want in real life. Like, I don't care. I'm not judging you, but what I'm saying is you shouldn't, like, project over this stuff, like, because you're just insecure and, like, you're acting like you're not insecure and that you love how you are, but just be honest, you don't.
It's body acceptance until I don't want to accept this type
they
I'm looking at.
They want to normalize how they look because they don't want to normalize, like, cute, attractive, aesthetic stuff because then it makes them feel bad about themselves. Mm-hmm. But it's like, you just need to work through that. It's a personal problem.
Yep. So, we are now blank with the 10 saying, as a Korean, I don't understand this Evie outrage of looking like a child. She looks like your average 20-year-old Korean girl in mainstream media. They would lose their minds if they see K-pop idols. The funny thing is, a lot of these people who are always, like, really upset about this stuff, they're K-pop stans too. There's a very interesting disconnect there. It is very interesting. But thank you for the 10 and the critical catastrophe with a 20 saying, guests contribute to grift today. Put my money on Evie. All right. Thank you for the 20. 20 towards Evie. And the Gold Recluse with a 5 saying 1 for the keyboard and 1 for Eve. You got it. 5 more for Eve. We're cooking, ladies and gentlemen, but we are caught up. I'm going to start yapping for a little bit, and then we will return to the super. So let them pile up. Let your voices be heard. But yeah, for those who don't know, Stellar Blade Blood Rain is the sequel to Stellar Blade. We got some big previews from this, but the main topic of discussion here is that people are really mad about the new main protagonist. Not Stellar Blade fans, or at least the overwhelming vast majority, but instead a bunch of sick weirdos on Twitter who are projecting massively. Now, of course, the announcement came during the Summer Game Fest, which was jam-packed with a lot of great news. And one thing pointed out here in this tweet is that the characters in the games being celebrated have a lot of female characters in lead and important roles, which completely discredits the narrative we've seen the last couple of days, where Twitter is trying very strongly to convince you that people just hate female protagonists, which is definitely not true. But the big announcement that we're talking about is Stellar Blade Blood Rain, which is getting a ton of praise across the board. This is the new main protagonist, Evie. And here's some of the combat and just the way she looks. And, I mean, tell me this doesn't look extremely smooth. I mean, this looks awesome. Let's just be real. They are cooking. They're absolutely cooking. But, to my shock, Reddit loves her. I couldn't believe it. But Reddit is all over it. They're loving the tomboy aesthetic here. And, well, good job, Reddit. Reddit's on the normal side of history for once. That's amazing stuff.
It's the short hair.
It's the short hair.
It's making them...
It's Reddit sexual.
It's giving them their, like... I don't know. I feel like you said, they're going to try and claim it as, like, LGBT or something.
Yep. But here's some more screenshots of the character. Looking great. The plug suit, of course, is going to be another round of people saying it's pedo bait, because apparently a plug suit is extremely revealing, even though it's, like, literally the opposite. But they seem to form to shape, and they go, awooga, I'm looking at pornography. Because their brains are so riddled with, well, damage? Yeah, damage. They're brain damaged. That's right. Like these people. You can just pause and reflect for a second on just a small drop in the bucket of the negative responses. Almost all of them claiming this character is pedo bait, an actual literal child, and if you enjoy this game or this character, apparently you deserve to be on the Epstein list, because we all know Epstein's crimes, like trafficking children, is definitely on par with a short-haired girl in a video game. You know, all these people saying you need to be locked up, beaten, offed, all of these things. Just massive projection and showing that people, well, they're deranged, especially when it comes to fictional content. But there's another little aspect of this. This comes during an interesting time where people are very upset about criticism being launched towards God of War Lawfey. Because, well, people don't really like the design of the main protagonist. And I've been told by very intelligent individuals on Twitter that people only dislike this game because they don't like female protagonists. In fact, this tweet right here with 181,000 likes says, there's for real grown people scared to play as a woman in a video game. But of course, the reception and the supports of Evie disproves that, if it wasn't obvious already. But we saw this all transpire within the same few days, and these people are coping, seething, projecting, and also outing themselves as massive hypocrites. We're watching in real time people switch up their entire viewpoints in days. over designs of female characters. This person right here, talking about Faye, saying strong female leads always get criticized in that way because fragile little man children feel threatened by a woman being better than you. Fast forward a few days later, the same user says, in reference to Evie, of course, nope, 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 nope. This is not an adult woman. Well, if this user says so, it must be true. But let's look at some more hypocrisy. How the tables turn. Suddenly, the open mind applies only to Western games. So here you have this user right here saying it's honestly exhausting how close-minded people are in reference to backlash against Faye. Few days later, same user saying Evie literally looks like a child. Why are people gooning over a character that looks 14? Eve still looked young but could pass for 18 to 20. This is so different, yet there's so many weird comments. Yeah, weird comments like this. But look how fast the open-minded people switch up the second they see a character like this. Almost instantaneous, and I actually talked with Straub about this yesterday. Sometimes I really struggle with whether or not this is stupidity and impulsive behavior where they just don't think before they speak, or if these people are just that disingenuous and they just don't care if they're being hypocrites. I think it's a mix of both. But
I said it's cognitive dissonance, and I think that they genuinely are so brainwashed into believing all this stuff that they don't even see that they're being hypocritical. They really I think that most people really believe all this stuff.
It's true. I mean, do you want to see the most egregious example? By the way, I'll point out every time this guy ends up in a video. This guy made quote-unquote jokes about putting estrogen in kids' candies on Halloween. He says in reaction to the Blood Rain preview, she's wearing clothes. They're about to call this woke. Does Buddy, this blue checkmark power farmer, even understand the discourse? Literally just days ago, people were mad at Knight's Path for having a female character dressed modestly. People loved it, but all the woke people were calling her what was it? Trad wife porn.
Yeah, but it's the type of clothes she was wearing. They're both modestly, they're both covered up, but the other one was oh, this is too trad.
That one's actually a worse example. But here, they think we're going to call it woke. But then, upon reflection, the same user in the same thread says on second thought, she does look like a child, so they may love it. Well, besides the projection, just look how disingenuous these people are. It's actually insane.
And racist.
And racist. We'll see more of that, don't worry. But you can see, because the previous narrative about people hating female protagonists is not working, they're starting a new narrative. Now they're trying to goalpost shift to something else. This person says, the same men who are hating on God of War Lawfey for having a female main character will praise this game as they are porn addicts who like underage looking girls. They're just, besides the projection and slander and the inability to separate fiction from reality and the racism as well, they're trying to create a new narrative. They're literally shadowboxing at this point. But let's look at some of the people really engaging in this stuff, like Jared here. Jared says, I'm not afraid of freaks online. She looks like a 9-year-old, and this is weird and creepy. Well, I think it's weird and creepy. You look at this character and you think of 9-year-olds, very specific. Does this guy have some knowledge in the subject? Is he really familiar to the point where he can identify the precise age? He must be studying very hard. But of course he says, I'm not afraid of freaks online. You sure about that, Goober? Because you deleted your post and then immediately went private. Many, 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 many such cases, by the way. Dude instantly folded. Good old Jared here. Also, yeah, good point, chat. Guy named Jared making weird comments like this is a Subway joke waiting to happen. But here's another brave soul. This individual saying, I'm fine with them making gooner games, but giving the protagonist with jiggle physics the face of a 12-year-old is a really weird choice. Now, this person is apparently married to this streamer, and she live reacted to the trailer and had something to say specifically about the plug suit as well.
I really don't like that they made her face look like she's 10 years old, but then gave her that skin suit. I don't like that. I don't like that they did that. Alita Battle Angel, yeah, that.
I let it play a little extra because the combat looks so cool. But you can see she's horrified by the fact that Shift Up would allow this character to wear such a suit. She doesn't like that as she continues reacting to what she thinks is obviously very problematic and predatory by her own, I guess, what would you call it? Her, what she's implying, basically. And if you remember the brave soldier, her husband, who posted that, he didn't have the cojones either. He would delete his post as well and go private, just like the previous user. I also find it very funny. It's a fantasy author. A fantasy author who can't separate fiction from reality. Good luck with your novels. Modern day Renaissance man. Amazing stuff. But it gets worse. This guy here, looking for a crumb of validation, says, enjoyed Stellar Blade, but hates that they made Evie look like she's 12 to 14 years old in Blood Rain. Sexualization of adult-looking women is one thing. Pandering to pedos with sexualization of child or young teen-looking girls is different. This ain't it. But by his own admission, this guy's locked in, and he's going to keep checking out the game, which is very interesting. But he would delete this post after getting absolutely nuked into orbit by people pointing out the projection here. But he wasn't done. He wanted some more engagement. So he makes another post saying Eve versus Evie. Not like the Saturday Showdown, but to instead say, what? What do you mean? And someone would point out his previous post, and he would respond by saying, I had the entire world of incels and weirdos responding to me. The majority of them had anime female profile pics too, which I found amusing. Did you find that amusing? Also, who cares? You're on indigenous land here, okay? You're trying to oust the people with anime profile pictures? You're in the wrong neighborhood, dude. Proves literally nothing. Also, you can see they continue on saying, I'll rewatch the trailer and wait for more media. So you think they're sexualizing a child, but you're going to wait for more media to check out later? What? Also, am I the only one, by the way, who gets extra irked out when a man says incel instead of a woman? There's something about it that makes it a little more pathetic to me. I can't explain it, but seeing a grown man with his cool guy profile picture here saying incel unironically, it's off-putting, to say the least. But anyways, let's move on to another quote here. This one pointing out what we've been talking about, saying, and immediately the "you just hate women" crowd went silent as the world cheered for Stellar Blade 2 while simultaneously crapping all over Lawfey. But don't worry, this guy has an answer. They went silent because they realized they were talking to predators. Oh, Martin. Oh, Martin, you silly goose. There's a proposed community note I can't even imagine. Based on history, it could be anything from just like hypocrisy to a full-blown conviction. We've seen it all in situations where people are projecting about fictional content. But this guy replies and ratios him into the Shadow Realm, saying, check this guy's hard drive. Whoever smelt it, dealt it. And Martin here says, I haven't smelt anything. I've never played Stellar Blade, but I know a child when I see one. I bet you do, Martin. I bet you do. What a weird thing to say. He's the expert. He must know. Just wild projection. And then I'm not even reading the second half of this response. Why their mind goes there. I mean, what else do you say? Right? It's just weird. But here's some more. This guy's saying, I find it weird they hypersexualize the physique, but give the character a face model of a literal child. Oh, it's a literal child they're using, right? This is what a literal child looks like. If this sounds familiar, this is exactly what happened with Eve. People said her model had a face of a literal child, and eventually we found out that was based on a 3D scan of a real woman in her mid-20s. Then they said, wokely, she's Asian, she still looks like a child. Of course. Because that's how they operate. They're a bunch of racists and weirdos as well. Speaking of weirdos, how about this guy? Nobody is saying she's a child. I believe the last 10 or 15 minutes has disproven that narrative. But they continue on saying it's the combination of having the worst baby face ever seen on a character and also being designed to appeal to gooners that makes it super effing weird. It's to be expected from the makers of Nikke, though. Enjoy gooning to an infant face. Pause. Why would you want someone getting off to something you think is a child's? Why are you encouraging that behavior, if that's what you really believe? We've seen this happen before. It's a very weird thing to say. Shows how unserious they are and also how weird they are. And also, if you're wondering, what's up with the binky? They added that. They added the binky to prove how not weird they are, but how weird you are. Like, this person put this in AI. They typed out a prompt to add a binky to this character to, I guess, prove how weird everyone else is about this. That's crazy. Crazy. But don't worry, guys. We also have real confirmation. The face of consent strikes again. The face of consent. We've seen this before. We've seen the hair of consent. We've seen the freckles of consent. The height of consent. Basically, people see certain features and immediately start thinking of children, and they make it your problem. Here's another example where someone says, excuse me, why the F does the main character's face model look like a prepubescent child, and why is she dressed lewdly? And someone says they made her attractive, where that user says, ah yes, a pedophile's concept of attractive as a child. Sure hope your mom should have swallowed you. And they show a retweet from the other user where he's retweeting an adult cosplayer. That's proof this guy's a predator. Showing that he's interested in adult women. It's stupidity and it's racism. Because of course, it's an Asian cosplayer. It always is with these people. They see anything like that, that's where their mind goes. And they think this is proof of something.
Well, it's like the Yuki stuff.
Oh yeah, of course. Yuki, we talked about her. She's a cosplayer. She's like what, 4'11", and she's in her 20s. She was the one who cosplayed as Tatsumaki, and people went viral saying, "You are unlovable. If anyone's attracted to you, they're a predator." Which that came up recently again, but it's to be expected. Here's another comparison people are making: East versus West. This is the original actress for Eve's design. And on the right, you have some of the modeling for the Cube. In God of War Lawfey, they're going to be pushing that cube thing on you. Now you see a mismanagement of resources here. That's the comparison. You see Smash JT reacting with some skull emojis, showing the, well, lack of judgment when it comes to how they're investing their resources, right? This is one of the normal people responding, saying, "I'm hoping you're teaching your daughter these values. She must look, I'm not even saying that, or she's worthless." So not only are these people roping in their projection about real children, they're saying these things about someone's daughter in response. These people are sick. These people are absolutely sick. Now, luckily, this person's getting bodied, of course. But man, you're already super weird for bringing real kids into this, but you're an extra level of weird and creepy for bringing up someone's actual daughter. They mocapped the cube? Yes, they did, Phantom. Yes, they did. But let's move on to another one. This person says, "Not gonna lie, Asian game devs are literally never beating the allegations." The allegations, what? That they make cute designs? What are you talking about? Also, this is just straight up racism. Like, what is with the woke people and immediately turning to racism the second they don't get their way or they see something they don't like? It's actually crazy. Here's some of the replies to this, what do you say about this individual? That they make better looking females than Western devs, more of a fact than an allegation. Sees sexualized woman, thinks of children. Someone has to check your hard drive, man. Progressives on their way to say the most aggressively racist stuff you've ever heard. I love this image right here. Scooting on in to say the most ridiculous, racist things you'll ever hear, but wokely, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, that, as I've said, is just a tidbit, just like a cursory glance at everything going on here. There is so much. There's so much toxicity already. But of course, keep in mind, overall, people are really excited about this. They really are. And, well, I know I am. And I know a lot of you guys are excited for this game. And I'm sure we're going to be farming a lot more content, especially as the crash outs continue. But that is the Stellar Blade stuff. I'm going to read a couple supers, and then we'll move on to, I think, the Hasan and Pegasus stuff next. But let's catch up here, folks. Captain Yan Yan with a 5 saying, "Ironic that the West accepted feminism to the point that they see traditional femininity as a burden. To them, that they tear what they failed to gain." Very true. Then we got 10 from Catalyst saying, "Those female protagonists actually look female." That's the allegations that I guess these Eastern devs will never, ever be able to dispute. Cares up with a 2 saying, "I need to change the name to God of Ugly." God of Laundry is the one a lot of people are going with. And Kaze with a 5 saying, "Hypocrites to the left on age and looks. Hypocrites to the right on age and looks. Oh, look, a day that ends in Y on Twitter. Yep, unfortunately. Intimidator with a 5 saying, hey, Rev and Straub, hope you two are having a good weekend so far. Can hardly believe we're just 1 month away from our country's 250th birthday. That's right. America's hitting that millennial mark right there, actually. That's pretty crazy. That's a long time. But Rev, that's when empires normally fall. Shh. Quiet. Kaze with another 5 saying, also as a girl dad in real life, she does not look like a 9 to 12-year-old. She looks older than my 11-year-old daughter. I mean, don't try to reason with these people. They are very stuck in their ways, I guess. They can't be helped, unfortunately. An emotionless catastrophe with a 15, saying the fact that they assume an old person is capable of this movement is stupid. I imagine old protagonists aren't super agile unless that's their background, like a swordsman or ninja from birth, and you say Eve. So that's 15 more for Eve. Then we got Zephyr with a 5 saying, wait, the cube for laundry needed to have a model. Oh yeah, they spent the big bucks on that one. They spent big bucks on that. There is no telling how much they invested on making the cube the way that it is. To the request of no one, by the way. Nobody asked for that. But in just a second, we're going to move on to the next topic. As my tabs reload here. Yeah, let your voices be heard. Get your supers in before we move on to the next... Oh, shoot. Why did that have to reload? Man, oh man. I think that's where I left off. Okay. Perfect. We're back. Yo, and Blank with another 10 saying, East Asian women look younger and maintain their youth as they age. I think it's different in how people in the West and East age. Some Western women look like they're in their 30s but are 22. I was shocked. I mean, yeah, there are cultural differences, okay? And people just don't want to hear it. You know, the people who are all about diversity and accepting other cultures, they really don't like to do the same when it comes to Asian culture, especially East Asian. And I guess the way they splice up Asia is another conversation. That's right. Sony having a studio down in Santa Monica was a huge mistake. Yes. Yes, indeed it was. Big mistake. But before... Oh, wait. Also want to point out, we have hit the super chat goal for today, ladies and gentlemen. Give yourselves a round of applause. W's in the chat, actually. W's in the chat. We hit the super chat goal for a new keyboard, which is not going to be a super fancy one. I like my, the one that I got with my PC. It works, but the keys keep getting stuck. Every time I hit A or E, it gets stuck. I have to basically double tap every single time. It is a mess. If I don't, it gets held down and it just spams. It's not good. In fact, it's awful. But today, thanks to the previous goal, I got my new headphones. They're in use. I don't have one ear dangling down anymore. And we got the new mouse. We're big ballin'. We're big ballin', ladies and gentlemen. But thank you guys very much for that. And Phantom with another 5 saying, let's be real, a lot of those South Korean idols take better care of themselves, take care of themselves better than most of us. No wonder they look younger. Yeah. It's the truth. You can accept that without being like racist or hostile towards people on social media, but you know, it is what it is. Big ballin'. Okay, folks. Let's switch over to the next thing. This guy. Yo, not that Neo. Thank you for the 9-month Giga Reveling membership. Saying yet another one of these messages. Happy to be here, Chief. 07. 07 for you. For being 9 months a part of this channel. 9-month membership. That's a long time. Jump scare. Jump scare, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I was muted for a second. Don't worry about that. That was an intentional mute. Give us a warning. My bad. My bad, guys. That's entirely my bad. Got the 2 from Nate saying, is bro hitting the geek Barsky? No, sir. How dare you? How dare you? Oh, the dog zapper. Such joy. His head looks bigger than I remember. Yeah, this is definitely, this is photoshopped. This is Photoshop, guys. But we're going to talk about this, and then after this, we're going to do a tally of the Eve versus Evie. Last little reminder for the next little bit here. It's Saturday Showdown. Eve versus Evie. The main original protagonist versus the new one for Stellar Blade. Blood Rain. That's right. Wrong screen. There we go. Okay, I'm going to pause the music and we're going to yap. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a tough couple of weeks, months, and years for Hasan Piker. This is the face of a man who right now is crashing out to the point of threatening lawsuits and even trying to invoke authorities against his critics. The critic in particular he is hyper-focusing on right now is MorePegasus, the creator of the legendary series. He has created hundreds of videos cataloging the insane behavior of Hasan and his friends. And by curating and farming this content, all he's doing is reacting to the live streams, the publicly available content of these people, taking their words, pointing out their hypocrisy and their insane behavior, and letting it be known to everyone in the public. It is a very simple and fair use of your time and effort, but Hasan is very upset about MorePegasus. He's obviously aware of this guy. He has given him sort of the Voldemort treatment over the years where he refers to his content or brings him up on stream but doesn't name him. But recently, as we saw, Hasan brought up his channel, did a deep dive on MorePegasus, and said a bunch of things to recap and to summarize very quickly. He said that MorePegasus was violating the laws of Singapore where he is located, and that he might sue MorePegasus and was looking for a lawyer to, I guess, launch an international lawsuit against him. He has done this before. He has threatened to sue people before. He's never followed through. So whether or not that is an empty threat, we'll have to wait and see. But I know one person who is very ready for the challenge, and that is MorePegasus. Of course, just as I predicted before it even happened, the second Hasan brought this guy up and was trying to not only threaten him with a lawsuit, but try to get the authorities after him, and also brought up execution laws in his country, MorePegasus would farm this for content. As you can see, just one day, he's farmed almost 300,000 views. Now in the business, we call that a 1 out of 10, okay? Whenever you upload a video, YouTube will rank your video's performance versus the last 10. Let's say after the first day, it'll say, this is the best performing video of your last 10 by comparison. I'm sure this one was a 1 out of 10 for MorePegasus and a big jolt in subscribers because basically Hasan handed this over on a silver platter. He couldn't resist feeding more content to the legendary series. Now, of course, when it comes to views, Pinhead over here is obsessed with social media metrics, including YouTube views. So he is getting absolutely view mogged, and I know it hurts, okay? Here is the clip from his stream that Hasan uploaded on his channel, which only has a fraction of the views that MorePegasus had in response. Hasan getting 135,000 views, smartly, cleverly, using his thumbnail format. I think that's very funny. But he got absolutely mogged, and you can see the like to dislike ratio. MorePegasus like to dislike ratio almost perfect. Hasan's 6,500 likes versus over 1,000 dislikes. Not very good. And ironically enough, the top comments are all just praising the thumbnail and title, which is very funny because that's the key takeaway. They're not actually taking away any criticism that Hasan was making. They're just noticing the references to MorePegasus, including phrases like demon time. Okay? They are more aware of MorePegasus than Hasan would ever want to actually acknowledge. But with that video, MorePegasus would respond. It's a long video. It's nearly 40 minutes as I predicted, right? But he makes a lot of points. We're going to focus on two major ones. His response overall, and the fact that MorePegasus is very ready for a lawsuit here.
If he really wants to lose millions of dollars in a lawsuit and get humiliated in court, be my guest. Right, here we go. Hasan is considering suing Pegasus and requests that Singaporean authorities look into him for stalking, cyber-stalking, harassment, and defamation over his legendary series. Claims that Pegasus caused him grave injuries and that he's terrified,
Shivering
which could
timbers.
impact a potential upcoming trip to Singapore. Okay, before we even start, buddy, you got banned from the UK. There's already like a precedent been set. There's like a 0% chance you can even come here after you've shown open support to 3 different terrorist orgs.
I believe what the Houthis are doing is a good thing. 10 toes fucking down.
Hezbollah is a paramilitary organization. I don't have an issue with them, let's just say.
I can't believe I'm calling Nasrallah Bays. He's read more books than you could ever imagine. Oh, you want to see a Houthi musical?
I know they're singing, but I'm seeing just guns and shit. This isn't a music video, Hasan.
America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it. I'm saying it.
Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers and murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods, dude.
Yeah, I mean, they have like a...
Are you telling me that there's countries out there that wouldn't want to invite Hasan with open arms into their borders? You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, this guy is a lunatic. Anybody who is self-aware would not want to invite a violent, dog-zapping terrorist sympathizer into their country, especially when it comes to Hasan. He was never going to Singapore. Never. So now he's acting like he's terrified that he's been gravely injured financially by MorePegasus, just so he can try to spark the arm of their law enforcement to go after his critic, MorePegasus. Yeah, the anti-fascist guy, once again, trying to use the authorities to shut down critics. And again, as I stated, he brought up execution laws and the number of executions carried out in Singapore with a fantasy of it happening to MorePegasus, all over valid and fair criticism online.
A zero tolerance policy for that type of stuff, so I don't really think you're getting a visa, but you know, you can try, I guess. Right, so he clipped his stream here into a video. MorePegasus just ruined his life, and it's like me in prison time, which is actually funny. This is like the one funny thing this video, other than, you know, threatening to sue me and get me beaten up and executed. That's like weird, but like...
That is the one funny thing Hasan did. You gotta give credit where credit is due. It was funny to take the format. I've talked about MorePegasus, I think, 3 times on the channel so far, and I yoink the style for thumbnails because it's just related to this guy. Everyone knows that sort of style with a gray background, the picture of whoever he's talking about with like the certain set of phrases that you see time and time again. It's smart to do. It's funny. And based on the replies, as we saw, that was the first thing and really the only thing people could say about Hasan's video. But let's continue on with a different section of MorePegasus's video.
Assaulting communication or publish any identity information of the target person or a related person of the target person. Oh my God, they're going to cane his ass. Oh my God. Oh my God, they're going to cane his ass. Oh my God, you're about to get caned, big dog. Oh my God. Because Singapore does not fuck around.
Right, so Hasan and his fans are just creaming themselves at this because they want me to be like brutally beaten up for criticizing him. And yeah,
make no mistake, they want that. They are fantasizing about that sort of possibility. They really want that to happen. To not just MorePegasus, but to me, but to anyone else who dares to criticize their Lord and Savior, Hasan Piker. That's what happens when you're in this orbit, okay? When you're locked into the cults of the Hasan Piker community, you want to see blood. You want to see everyone who dares to criticize him harmed to the maximum. That's not even something they remotely try to hide.
I did talk to a lawyer and literally none of this shit applies. He's a public figure. This guy is quite literally creating fan fiction and jerking himself off. Here we go. Analyze the creator MorePegasus and his commentary against Twitch streamer Hasan Piker. He's made 300 videos on him. Considering he lives in Singapore, is he violating any laws regarding harassment? No, MorePegasus is highly unlikely to be violating any harassment laws because his videos constitute transformative public interest commentary on a prominent public figure rather than targeted personal abuse or doxing required for legal action. Wow, almost like...
I mean, first of all, based, MorePegasus already has welcomed the lawsuit, but also apparently talked to a lawyer in his country, and it basically has nothing to worry about, which every sane person knows he has nothing to worry about. Also, all the things that Hasan was talking about was completely disingenuous when he was interpreting the laws. You know, legal eagle Hasan Piker. Who would have thought that guy would not have good legal interpretation? But he was saying that what was happening is stalking and harassment. Little did he know, even though he said the words, he didn't actually pay attention to them. All these things have to stem from primarily illegal actions to begin with. And we're not even getting into the fact that he is a public figure and this stuff is allowed. But Hasan also was reading laws about sending physical mail. And he was like, oh, could that be a YouTube video? No, buddy, I don't think so.
Like, he's just been circle jerking this complete fan fiction. Under the Protection from Harassment Act, standard internet commentary and criticism are legally protected as long as they don't cross into specific criminal thresholds. Analysis of Pegasus versus Hasan, legal context, they are strictly reactions to public live streams and public controversies. Wow, who would have thought that commenting on public clips is actually allowed? Why POHA doesn't apply to his commentary, lack of direct target intention. For POHA to apply, an individual must use threatening, abusive, or insulting words with specific intent to cause the person harassment, alarm, or distress. Pegasus uploads standard YouTube videos to his own channel for a broad public audience rather than spamming Hasan's private inbox, tagging him directly to incite real-world harm, or sending threatening messages. And you know the funny thing is, his fans are sending me threatening messages. The public figure defense, Hasan is a massive public figure and political commentator.
Yeah, let's not gloss over the threatening aspect. Hasan said over and over again, Pegasus was threatening him. Of course, he can't cite a single example. Despite having a catalog of hundreds of videos, he couldn't find a singular example. He also couldn't find a singular example of him defaming Hasan. But also, if we want to talk about threats, we know whose community is launching threats. That's obviously Hasan's community. You talk about the guy, you're going to get threatened and harassed nonstop. That the second you make any criticism, whether it was today or 5 years ago, you're forever a target for these loons.
under POHA, a court requires whether a person's behavior was reasonable given the context. Critiquing, mocking, or analyzing a media personality's public output is legally recognized as fair comment and standard political social expression. Oh my god, do not show this to Hasan fans. They are about to have a fucking meltdown.
They don't want to see it. Okay, you can bring up a smoking gun. How many times have we seen Hasan say one thing? Someone shows a clip or a tweet from Hasan that proves he's a hypocrite or he's wrong, and they just don't care. They literally do not care. And of course, we're talking about communities too, right? I think this is fascinating, okay? This is what happens when you criticize Hasan. All he can do is threaten and play victim. In fact, in his follow-up, he then says that, yeah, MorePegasus should be worried about Singaporean authorities. That's right.
Blasting off. Javier Bardem reposted me? Shut up. Pegasus cooked you? Hell yeah. Pegasus is back. Pegasus needs to worry about the Singaporean government coming after him. I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, we're going to do Politico. Hold on. Politico I did an interview with.
Do you see a little chat box here? When he sees the harassment from MorePegasus in his community, right, who said he owned you. I know, very deep harassment, very terrifying for Hasan. Him or his mods start spamming links to basically clear the chat. I mean, how fragile is this guy? This whole situation is frankly embarrassing. 35-year-old crybaby, okay? When faced with a dedicated critic, someone who does look at his public streams and public statements and criticizes them and points out his hypocrisy and lies, Hasan just can't handle it. It's a short circuit. You know, he gave MorePegasus the Voldemort treatment for so long, but now he just couldn't help himself. Like many in his circle, their impulse control is very low, and eventually he just brought him up, named him, tried to shame him, and sicked his community after him, but MorePegasus is laughing right to the bank, as per usual. This is how you do the content farm, ladies and gentlemen. This is how it works. Hasan is just the content piñata. He knows it, but he doesn't want to acknowledge it or do anything to prevent it from happening. Instead, he threatens to sue you and to sick the authorities on you if you dare, if you even contemplate criticizing this guy. But that's really all I got for the Hasan portion of today's stream. We'll get this jump scare off right here. You guys no longer have to suffer. That's right. No more suffering. So who you got, guys? Who you got in this situation? Who you backing? Are you backing Pegasus or Hasan? Let your voices be heard. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're pretty much, I would say, a little over the halfway point of today's stream. Again, it's Saturday Showdown, ladies and gentlemen. The clock is ticking. I'm about to do a tally up here in a second. Eve versus Evie. The ultimate Stellar Blade Showdown. Do you go with the classic? Or do you go with the new short-haired tomboy protagonist? Vote with your super chats. I'm going to start tallying them up right now and give you a little peek of where we are. Let's see here. Okay, one has been tallied up. Let's see the next. We got a total. Ladies and gentlemen, on the one side with Eve, we're sitting at $67.50. On the right with Evie, we're sitting at 58. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a close race. It is any waifu's race. It is very close. Your super chat could be the difference at this point. Both is good, both is great. 6-7. Dang it. Dang it. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Not funny. I didn't even notice it. My brain doesn't even process your TikTok brain rot, okay? I'm so angry. I'm fuming. I'm upset. I'm hurt. How could you guys do this to me? Were all the Eve stands conspiring together to do this to me? This is messed up, man. This is messed up. Cheering me up a little bit, David Martinez with a $5 super chat saying, does Asmund know that Hasan is cheating on him with Pegasus, also for Evie? Nobody fixed the Eve situation. Somebody please help. Fix this! What are we doing? Is my existence just a joke to you guys? You're gonna let a 6-7 stay up on the board? I'm so mad. But thank you, David Martinez. That's 5 for Evie. Closing the gap a little bit more. Goodness gracious. I'm furious. I'm furious. Rev used one of my $5 chats for Eve and the other for Evie. Oh, okay. I know you did 2 5s. So we're fixed. Drop 100 on Eve. Bet. Let's get Eve to 6-7. Stop. Actually, it was dangerously close. Actually, no, it's still possible. Oh my goodness. Kev with the 4 saying 4 more to get Evie to her 6-7. You were correct. Until Kaze reoriented their previous super chats. So we're safe. I win. Again. Thank you. Balance has been restored. We're all past 6-7s. The meme is dead. The meme is over. An emotionless catastrophe with the 2 for Eve saying the original meme number. You know what? These days, I'll take that over 6-7. Any day. Any day. Rev cheating to win, it's not cheating. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. How about we go with that? But, yes, make your voices heard before we move on to the next subject here. Yeah, I think we will talk about... Actually, what do you guys think? What do we talk about next? Wolverine or the Sykkuno situation? $69 and $420 are the best meme numbers. Well, I don't know about the $420 playing in. Let's do $4.20. That'll work. That'll do. And honestly, that one offends me a lot less these days. It's the truth. How about both? Listen, we are going to do both. But it appears that people really want Wolverine next. Okay. Fair enough, ladies and gentlemen. Let's pull it up. Alright, let's jump right into it, ladies and gentlemen. So, right now, the Wolverine game is getting a lot of its previews through various trailers, and people are really happy about it overall. People seem to really like it, but with many other successful IPs, the creators themselves can't get out of their own way, and they're causing a lot of issues, including the writing staff being exposed as a bunch of woke maniacs. Also, the creative director dropping X-Men and switching out for Team X, which lore-wise doesn't even make sense, as we'll see. But also, it's to get with the modern times. Ouch. Now this might... Whoa! Whoa! Oh, sevens in the chat, ladies and... Whoa, whoa, whoa! Slow down, ladies and gentlemen, slow down. Oh, sevens in the chat for Kevin Williams with the $50 super chat. The 50 Smackarooski straight to the dome. Thank you very much for that. Saying Eve all the way. What? Evie stands. I was going to say get it going, but right after that, 18 wheels and a drone with the $20 super chat saying you should see about a model outfit upgrades. Putting in for Evie, Hasan is the beginner of his absolute downfall. I mean, it's getting a little chaotic over there. The mask that has already slipped is slipping even further. But yeah, model outfit upgrades. I've always wanted to do something. I don't know, like, what we would do. Right? I don't know what we would do. But something to think about for sure. Especially if people want it. Let me know your thoughts, guys. But that's 20 more for Evie. The tomboy enthusiasts are holding the line. But of course, with this Wolverine game, you're seeing this modern time stuff, the X-Men label being dropped. It comes as no surprise that Sweet Baby has its paws all over this. Because of course they do. The trailer itself, the gameplay trailer specifically, has what? Let's see. 5.4 million views in just 3 days for a 7-minute gameplay trailer. That's really good, right? The hype is there. And the like to dislike ratio is very respectable. 300,000 plus likes and only 14,000 dislikes. People like what they're seeing. Okay? Now, we talked about this the other day, but Kotaku had something to say. They said there's too much blood. There's too much violence in this trailer. That's right. Kotaku said there's too much violence in the Wolverine reveal. Amazing. Amazing stuff. You can see right here, 49 likes on nearly 300,000 views and 800 comments, all just roasting this absolute dumpster fire of an article right here. But let's get to the new thing going on here. Insomniac's Wolverine game drops men from X-Men name following reported Sweet Baby Inc. involvements. Oh boy. See, they're not just replacing the X-Men name, they're changing it to Team X, which doesn't make a lot of sense because Team X already exists. And here is the creative director explaining this decision. First and foremost, with a character like Wolverine, who's been around for 50 some odd years, there's a lot of different stories, so it really did behoove us to create our own story. Well, I'm glad these narcissists are once again reminding us that even with a palette of 50 years of content and stories, they gotta do their own twist because they know better than 50 years of history. So they add on saying it's our own unique take on the world, and as such, we are putting in modern times. Ugh. But the X-Men don't exist. The X-Men are not in our game. And where we do start is Logan has been around for a while. He's been a part of a team called Team X. They're a group of mutants who go around the world and save other mutants who are in danger. So to make this clear, they're dropping X-Men, replacing it with Team X, and then listing off what this group now does. And what they're describing is exactly what the X-Men do. So they're basically just slapping on a new name to the X-Men. And it's not because it makes sense from a lore standpoint. It's not because of anything like that. It's because they want to get with the modern times. We've seen the modern audience. We got the modern times. Can't say I've seen that one yet. But this makes no sense. But then again, it makes sense when you think about the people behind Marvel. Where in the past, we've seen in 2019 with Dark Phoenix, we had Mystique suggesting that perhaps the team should be called X-Women, which became a meme. People thought that was very ridiculous. But of course, the Marvel Studios executive, Victoria Alonso, has previously questioned the X-Men name itself, arguing that it's outdated because the team included numerous female superheroes. When they tell you their agenda, just listen. It's X-Man! That's right. That's right, chud. It's X-Man! Get it right. But of course, we've seen some previews of this game before. Right? We saw this before. In 2024, we got some sneak peeks of this Wolverine game, and, well, here's Jean Grey. Now, they will tweak her in the current trailer, but this was the first look. That face she gives you when you're not with the modern times, right? It's X-Man! This was diabolical. When this came out, people couldn't believe it. People really couldn't believe this. It almost felt like a parody. Because when you look at any other iteration of Jean Grey, I mean, what are we talking about? I'm sorry, guys. Actually, you know what? I see the vision. I'm seeing double! I'm seeing double! It's the same person! Terrible. Terrible stuff. But of course, in 2024, it was revealed that this game has Sweet Baby Inc. on board, and that's the moment it was like, whoa, wait a second, this is all making sense, isn't it? Now, we know how Sweet Baby Inc. works these days. They don't announce as many games as they used to. They don't like to let anyone know what they're working on. but we got the screenshots. Sweet Baby made it very proud and known that in 2021, they were hired as consultants for Wolverine. 100% confirmation, no room for debate. Now, another person who was involved here is Mary Kenny. Now, luckily, I covered her back in 2024, and I have the old screenshots from that video, because since then, Mary Kenny has left Twitter. She has deactivated. But this was her bio back then. Game writer, narrative director on Wolverine. And of course, you start looking around the accounts. Before she took her swan song from Twitter, she reposted this article talking about the harassment campaign that Sweet Baby was facing, including the conspiracy theorists who were attacking the consulting firm. Now, of course, those conspiracy theorists were once again telling the truth, but this is an intentional misrepresentation of what happened. We all know the harassment started with a Sweet Baby Inc. employee harassing Cabrutus and Sweet Baby Inc. detected simply for listing the games that Sweet Baby Inc. listed on their own websites as a warning to consider whether or not you want to support those games. But also, this interaction was very interesting. This guy, a woke shill in the industry, saying you can't be racist to white idiots. Period. Now, this was back long enough ago that likes were still public. And wouldn't you know it, Mary Kenny in the likes, confirming that she believes you can't be racist to white people. A self-hating, ultra-woke white woman. Many such cases. Many, many, many such cases. And just, it harkens back to a much funnier time. We still think of you. We still think of you. Your likes are public moment. We miss you so much. But of course, Mary Kenny said some other stuff, including, some of you don't seem to understand how narrative consulting on games works, but don't worry, I do. Is this about Sweet Baby? Of course, because I've worked with that team, and they're one of the finest in the biz. Completely tone deaf. And also, keep in mind, around that time, Mary Kenny ditched Wolverine after helping write it, and then moved on to CD Projekt Red, which of course is as woke as they come. And I would say, by the way, oh, it's June. They're doing the Pride Month thing. They're doing the virtue signal. But CD Projekt Red has this profile picture all year long. It's not Pride Month, it's Pride Year for them. But that is the situation with the Wolverine game. Very unfortunate. Okay? Again, game looks pretty good. A lot of people are really happy about it, but it's the team, once again, getting in the way of themselves by making these ridiculous decisions that don't make any sense and are just very, very off-putting. So this is all towards the knowledge of what you're buying. Knowledge is power, they say. And in this case, yeah, it is important. It is important to understand what you're potentially supporting. But that's going to do it for the Wolverine situation. We have one more thing to talk about, the Sykkuno drama, and then we'll call it a wrap here. But let's get some of the supers here and keep the tally going again. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll update this in a second. The Saturday showdown between Eve and Evie is roaring on. Do not let your waifu lose. Wolverine It's sad. But these are the things you gotta worry about these days. Very sad. My XP bar. My XP bar is low, guys. Yo, running the train with a 2, saying, how about a Straub-inspired outfit? I have turned on the Straub model recently. People always enjoy that. It's a bit of a trip, to say the least. But then we got a 5 from Kara, saying, Wolverines older than 50 years, these guys don't know what they're talking about. Yes, unfortunately, they think they are much smarter than the people that they are using an IP from, right? They think they're smarter. They're all narcissists at the end of the day. They think they are the true literary and creative wits, right? Jason with a 10 saying, Wolverine's catchphrase is, I'm best there is at what I do, but what I do best isn't very nice. I guess we have to spell it out. He kills people! Yeah, don't tell Kotaku. They are very, very scared of violence. Don't do that. Okay, they think that Wolverine should be using his claws to dig up soil, maybe do some gardening, something like that. Hopefully it doesn't hurt any of the insects in the dirt, because that would cause a panic attack for certain people at Kotaku. We have to be sensitive about this stuff, okay? We gotta be a little more sensitive. Then we got 5 from Skylers, saying the uniform they use in the game is literally his first X-Men uniform. He had multiple before joining X-Men. He even had a Team X uniform. Use it. Well, that's the problem, right? They're trying to say that this Team X thing is just, well, it's just the evolution of X-Men, but it already exists. And he was a part of it. But now they're trying to rehash history and do it in a way to serve their own agenda. It doesn't make sense, because it simply doesn't make any sense. Right? Yo, and Phantom with a 5 saying, well, I was excited about the Wolverine game, but I refused to touch anything that Sweet Baby Inc. had anything to do with. And that is the truth. There are people out there, if they're informed that Sweet Baby is involved with something, they're not going to buy it. And the only person they can blame for that is themselves. Yo, and Faye with a 10 saying, another vote for Evie. I love Eve, but girls' bangs always needed work. Evie is cute right off the bat. What are you laughing at? Straub's back.
Hello. It's just funny. What's wrong with her bangs?
Well, you tell me, Straub.
I guess it's just that's the style. Maybe they don't like that they're like all the way across her whole forehead. Mm-hmm.
You want to talk for a minute?
Sure.
My tally.
Sure.
Give the latest update. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Your pieces.
All the pieces.
The pieces. Hello. Hello, chat. How's he hanging? Ooh, he's got his new headphones.
Mm-hmm. They just came in today.
Yeah, I ordered these for him. Because I run the household Amazon accounts. I place the orders. They look really nice. Are they the same ones as before?
They are. It's just the other ones are so beaten up. They're like unrecognizable.
Yeah, the other ones were like literally like it looked like a dog had gotten to them. Oh, one more. Oh, but it doesn't say it doesn't pick. Oh, I'm on the wrong scene. Oh.
There you go.
Oh,
click it.
Okay.
Again. There we go.
2.79 Canadian buckarooskies from Faka. Saying, Rev says desu. No, Rev says vroom vroom, then cargo.
It's true.
Rev your engines.
The allegations are true.
Someone said I like her bangs, but I'm a girl. I don't not. I mean, so like I have bangs actually in real life, and like it's not how I would do my bangs, but like I don't think they're ugly. It's just a different style.
Okay, so I'm gonna update the tally for me.
They're very wide. Sure, yeah.
All right, with Eve.
Okay.
Update it to 124.50.
Aight.
Oh. Get that one in.
Oh.
Click it again. Click it again.
Malin with the DOP 100 to Evie says time to play the old Wolverine games. Okay, is that it? Are these the final tallies?
No, there's one more thing to talk about. I know, and then we'll get our tacos.
I'm so hungry. Also, I don't want tacos.
Oh, what do you want?
I don't know, but not that.
Gotcha.
Chat, I'm so mad at him.
What do you mean?
Because it's already 7:17 and I'm hungry. You stink.
Well, do that one quick. And do the conversion quick.
50, is that
Well,
Filipino?
type it in. The other tab.
P. Silver with Evie looks like his high school crush. Wood. Okay,
Just do P. No,
that didn't work.
just do P to USD. No. There we go.
Is that it?
I think so. I'm adding it.
50 Philippine pesos? Is that what we're doing?
The new update on EV
Okay.
is...
Evie.
No, wrong.
Oh, sorry. Evie.
Okay. What was it before?
I don't know.
Why'd you delete it so fast?
Oh, because chat.
Oh,
what was it
my
before?
goodness.
Chat. What was it before? I think it was. I want to say it was 64,
Oh,
but
wait,
I
wait.
could totally be wrong. I feel like it was 6.
No, it was 58. It was 58. I have it written here.
Are you sure?
I am sure. Okay. New tally.
58. Okay. Okay.
95.50.
My bad. I thought you'd be prepared.
I almost wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay, read those last two and I'm going to do the last thing for today. Thank you, assistant.
Jovan Parkins with the 2 saying, Jovan Parkins here. Hi, dear. Hello, dear Jovan Parkins. Thanks for the 2. And Napped Up Player with the 2 saying, Straw speaking in Rev's avatar somehow fits. Yeah. I make everything work.
Jack of all trades.
Do you want me to do the last topic for today?
I don't think you can handle it.
Is it Hasan?
No, I already talked about that.
Oh, okay. That's the only thing I can't handle.
Okay,
I hear him and I roll my eyes.
fair enough.
Look at the glasses when I turn my head.
Yeah, they're probably not too in line here. Uh-oh!
Oh.
Goodness! Yo, Sensei with the 40 for Evie's strong tomboy fists.
Okay.
Cultured. That's 40 more from Sensei. Hey, yo. What are the oranges for? Thank you very much, Sensei, for the 40. I'll update it now. Ooh, that's going to make it spicy. That's a spicy one. Goodness! We're popping off 18 wheels and a drone with a 20 saying Rev says I love my wife. Evie. Hey, yo. Well, first of all, facts all around. And that's 60 more. Things are changing. Things are heating up. It is now 155.50.
I did that in my
Evie's
head.
in the lead.
Yeah, impressive, right?
Eve stands. You don't have a lot of time left. Because we're moving on to the final subject.
What are you talking about?
Sykkuno.
He's back?
He's back. I think everything should be loaded up good. Of course, that's not loaded up. Good enough. All right. But yeah, guys, last chance. We're going to cover one more thing today. Get your votes in for Eve or Evie. Do not let your waifu down. You wouldn't want that to happen now, would you? There we go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have a return of Sykkuno. Now, I talked about this guy a few months ago. There was huge drama involving him. He is a very big streamer, also a serial cheater, right? He was messing around with a bunch of different women while he had a girlfriend and still has his girlfriend. And obviously, he's not a very reputable guy, has plenty of flaws. But the problem is, you had people like this, I guess, VTuber, doesn't really post anything VTubing related, Himomo here, who was exposing Sykkuno, not just as a serial cheater, but also as a dangerous predator. Now, somehow, this tweet and Google Doc is still up. Now, we know how this played out, okay? Mugen, our boy Mugen, jumped on this Google Doc, making a now deleted video labeling Sykkuno as a predator. This video would get massive backlash. He would delete it and then make an apology video, which was lackluster, and then delete that one for whatever reason. You know, for accountability, I guess. But all of his attempts to do the right thing would get him noted on Twitter. It was basically a very bad time to be Sykkuno, okay? Or, I'm sorry, Mugen. I'm mixing up my players here. But Mugen got made a fool. Also, the two main women behind these accusations were laughed out of the building, okay? It was a very, very embarrassing time, right? Yes, the guy is a serial cheater. Not great. But was he a predator? No. Okay? They were trying to paint him as something greater than just a guy who was manipulating a bunch of women while he was in a relationship. Right? But he's back. And thanks to WestJet, it's a massive day for the unemployed. Let's see what has transpired since his return.
Massive day for the unemployed. Sykkuno just returned to streaming, and boy oh boy, people were pissed. Let's check it out.
Alright, well, as most of you guys know, I've been gone for a bit. And while I've been gone, I was working on myself and repairing the damage I've done to...
Ain't no way he's still doing the anime voice.
Bro, is your XP bar not full enough?
I will never forget that quote. When he's trying to put the moves on a lady, he says his XP bar is too low. I will never forget that. Legendary quote.
It's not full enough.
Love or hate Rice Gum, he's cooking.
My girlfriend and our relationship. And what I did to her was horrible. And for a lot of people, they could never forgive that. I regret doing it so much. And
he really does have the anime voice. It could be his natural voice. We don't know, guys, but it's just too funny given the circumstances. And also, don't forget that the Deku voice actor did a voiceover of his initial apology. That would be deleted because it was a little too based. Right, a little too based for that side of Twitter, I guess, but it was very funny.
This virgin just said the return of the gig.
In the time I've been gone, I've been working every single day to try and make things better.
Working on the weekend like usual.
It hasn't been easy, but I'm glad to share that not everything's perfect, but we made a lot of improvements, and I can confidently say, we can confidently say that we're doing a lot better. We're in a position where we could be happy together, and we're headed in a good direction.
Me and my girlfriend queued Among Us together with my other Chinese streamer friends, and then we played a bunch of League of Legends.
I wouldn't be coming back to streaming if both of us didn't feel that way.
This dude can't be getting away with this. Hashtag justice for this guy. Hey, I'm an up-and-coming VTuber, and I was wondering if you could help me get my XP up permanently banned.
Brought up the legendary quote. Gotta get out of here. Can't be having it.
What's up, guys? It's Sykkuno here.
Why is everyone treating this like a good thing? If the roles were reversed, the woman would still be called a I'm not for this. The double standards is gross. Wasn't this his second time, too? Why is he still talking like that, man?
Dude, I'm watching the stream while you try not to laugh, but...
Oh, I don't care. He's a creep, and his girlfriend is pathetic. I mean,
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty true. That's true.
All right, well, I'm pretty nervous, as you can guess.
Very entertaining content, guys. I'm captured. I understand why this guy has millions of subs and a massive following, and also a harem of women following him around 24/7 and just throwing themselves at him. Must be the anime voice.
The silence is deafening.
You know, with everything that happened, a lot has changed. And I think I've grown a lot from it in so many ways. And I'd say that's most of the update I've got. It's going a lot better, and I wouldn't be coming back if it wasn't that way.
I mean, his girlfriend is sort of pathetic for taking him back, but that's on her.
That's her choice at the end of the day.
Yeah, thank you guys, is all I can say. And also, of course, thank you to all my friends who, you know, are still supporting me. I don't know if I would have done quite as well if I didn't have such supportive friends who really want the best for me.
And Zooey Mama XQC chimed in.
What about the other women? Why should we give a new haircut?
Also, again, all of the women who are coming out with these accusations and even framing him as a predator, nothing happened. They just kind of like shilled their not safe for work content and then just left. Like, I think we're all just like forgetting how pathetic and manipulative all of that was. They used it for a spotlight on themselves to sell their bodies. They lied about the guy. It wasn't enough to call him a cheater. They had to go to the next level and call him a predator for attention and clicks. And when they got dismantled, a lot of them just completely contradicting themselves, getting caught in lies, proving they were aware he had a girlfriend, just continued on it and kept trying to get with him. And they just moved on with their life and were like, oh, well, anyways, what happened to them? Maybe worth a revisit soon.
Yikes!
So many ways.
Buddy, what about the other people? I mean, what do you want?
Yeah,
Apology to them? For what?
That's
They knew the
strange.
parameters. The women were led to believe that he was single. Okay, perhaps true. But then they interacted after the fact, and they were still negotiating. And when there was no promise of a future, then they pulled the trigger on the retaliation, which is the main problem. At that point,
The main girl still wanted to be with him and got shot down. She was literally on a Discord call with him, knew that the girlfriend was in the other room crying, and was still shooting her shot, and then released a Google Doc on the guy when he said, I don't want to be with you. Brutal.
it becomes kind of fair game. If you
When XQC makes sense, you know it's a problem. But yeah, a lot of the girls who came out with a slob basically said nothing.
If you were wronged and you don't fire a shot at getting a prize, your claim is valid for what it is. If you were wronged and you go, wait a minute, I can probably get a max win here, and you give it a shot, and you lose, then if you try to go and go with the first claim, it's kind of void.
What the actual
What is he saying?
Bro, like, he said a whole lot of nothing.
I just thought, yo, he's kind of the GOAT.
Yo, stop with the Red Bull. It's Ramadan. Sykkuno returns to streaming after cheating scandal apology. The 34-year-old streamer addressed the April cheating allegations head-on during the I'm Back broadcast, saying he has spent time repairing his relationship and that they both agreed it was a great time to return. Hide your VTubers, the Slayer is back. Champions Club Platinum card holder.
Also, how much you want to bet there's still, especially VTubers out there, who are going to try with this guy? They're still going to try just for that whiff of clout.
Or some people just love to, like, try and ruin a relationship. Like, some women, that's, like, their thing.
Wait a second. Are you telling me there's flawed women out there? As a male feminist, I find that very offensive.
I mean, it's, like, a known thing that a lot of women, it's disgusting, but they, like, get off to trying to, like, take men that are
it's definitely true. But yeah, the clout, they still want it. They still want the clout.
Holder. He can't prevent smirking non-stop, lol. Still doing that cringe voice, too. When you do the ooh-woo, you get the bust nuts or Huh?
What? Did this get muted?
Bro instantly went in.
That must be on his end. Somebody was filing a little copyright claim and had to mute the audio. Dastardly. You hate to see it.
The sub-only mode. His XP is high enough again. What did this guy do? Had intercourse with a consenting adult.
That's pretty much all I can really say about it. I think we're doing better. And we're going to be back to gaming and stuff like that, and hopefully having a good time.
The first Among Us stream back gonna be hitting different. You already...
People still do Among Us. They're still doing Among Us in 2026.
I didn't like it even when it was popular.
Yeah, you were a hater before it was even cool.
I just didn't get it. It was weird to me.
Well, that's how all the e-boys got big fame back in the COVID days. That was the plug.
Well, you know about my only experience playing Among Us.
Atrocious experience.
It was a bad one.
Let's move on.
No, you're not the victim, Jesus Christ. You didn't change in just 2 months. Such a shameless person. Again, he's a scumbag for cheating, and that's bottom of the barrel activity, but he didn't really commit a crime or do anything irredeemable.
That this whole Sykkuno thing has gone too far because even my parents know about it. Well, actually, my mom is kind of tapped in, but my dad is not. I feel like, I'm like, what the f? It's reaching my dad's algorithm.
It might just be because you're Asian, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe everyone gets a notification on their Billy.
It's not real.
Anyway,
you got muted again.
On.
I do think, obviously, there's
the two-time.
A few people out there who aren't quite as friendly, but there's a lot of people happy to see me, and I think that means a lot, so thank you guys.
I think a lot of people are confused about the Sykkuno situation, why everyone cares so much. If he's just a boy and a player, and yeah, so what, he cheated on his girlfriend. I think the main reason why everyone cares so much, especially women, is because we genuinely thought that he was a safe person, and I'm
He's the human safe space for these women, and they've been betrayed. Turns out the wholesome Chungus Uwu anime boy is not the safe space they thought he was. Guys, I'm gonna need some time to recover from this. That's really hurting me. That's hurting me deep. Okay. Oof.
I'm sure that's why he was always hanging around with female content creators. So that's why it's so shocking to see that someone that you thought was respectful towards you actually turned out to use that to their advantage. To use that image that they had of you, of being safe.
Yeah, it's the nice guys you gotta worry about.
What is she yapping about, by the way?
Clothing most of the time. Like, even now, his LARP has gone intergalactic. He still can't drop the voice or the persona.
I'm nervous, guys. I wasn't sure.
Hey man, if it ain't fixed,
I thought it was kind of dumb, but
I'm sorry. Did I say if it ain't fixed, don't break it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay? He's been farming the E-women with this persona. Do you think he was going to reinvent the wheel when he came back?
I thought you were talking about his hair. I can't hear the video chat.
Yeah, she can't hear it. But I'm saying, like, that was his gimmick. He was doing it to attract the desperate, and it worked. He's back, but the same old dude.
I wonder how long the hair is going to be the gimmick.
Oh, forever.
It might be time to switch. How old is he? 34?
34.
It's time to switch it up. Sykkuno, respectfully.
I was like, well, I guess I should still be myself, right? So I was like, if I'm really nervous, I'll wear my nervous shirt and maybe, I don't know.
Oh, my bad. He got his nervous shirt on. I should have known.
Easy.
I'm gonna be honest, I can't watch this. I can't. I'm so sorry. It just feels weird to me to like, feels weird, and it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, he f***ed up, he's trying to be a better person, and just, you know what I mean? And he just needs to get that out. It's like, really, I can't do it. I'm so sorry.
To be fair, it did get out of hand for Sykkuno. I feel pretty bad myself. You know, people were calling him a predator and like a rape. A bit disappointed his return video wasn't some Among Us gameplay. And bro left the comments on, so props to him, not gonna lie.
Can't really say much because him and his girl good, bro. That's really all that matters.
I mean, hey, if she doesn't care, I guess no harm, no
Yeah.
foul.
Cheated on his girlfriend with well, I don't really know. Apparently, they're like a lot of individuals for a long period of time. He preyed on smaller streamers that tend to also be young, but like 18 young.
Do you hear these people and the narrative they're trying to spin? They're so young. Oh, the girls are so young. Well, you know, like 18 young. Oh, so adults is what you mean. Okay. Glad we clarified that.
He's, what, 30-something? So, that's like TLDR, I would say.
Cheating, yes, but preying on people, I think that's a slight exaggeration. I don't think that's very good faith, to be fair. And him going for younger women is weird, but again, nothing illegal. You made it this far, please leave a comment and a like down below.
Well, there you have it, folks. That is the Sykkuno return right there. Do you believe him? Do you think he's a fraud? Do you think this is all a part of his redemption or his return to farming e-girls on the internet as a wholesome Chungus anime ooh boy? Time will tell, just like everything else, ladies and gentlemen. But
I hope things get better for his girlfriend's sake.
well, of course. Yeah, that's the ultimate good result, right? That he's actually changed, he's going to treat her well. We'll have to wait and see. But, ladies and gentlemen, unless we're biting our tongues here.
That's it. That's it.
That's it. I'm going to give like 2 minutes and then we're closing the stream. 2 minutes to make your voice heard. We do have an ace up the sleeve with a $20 tiebreaker. Ladies and gentlemen.
Push it kind of close.
It does. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes to make your voice heard. Eve or Evie, it is a deadlock. We have a $20 tiebreaker that'll make things very interesting. It goes to the underdog, by the way.
Which, as of right now, is Eve.
Yes. Believe it or not, I'm kind of shocked. Yeah. You know, and Silver Dragoon with the 50p saying he should stop his online career and get a job.
I can see why he would not want to do that.
No. He wants the money.
I can't blame him for that.
Yeah, can't blame him. That is his job.
Yeah.
Jovan Parkins with a 2 saying, "Hi, sweetie." Oh, hi, Rev. Hi, Evie. 2 more for Evie. Based. We are in the final countdown. About 1 more minute, ladies and gentlemen. I'll even give that little extra bit there. The boost. But without further ado, I'm going to count it down in a second. And we're going to lock the votes. And it will be final. Do not hold your tongue. I'm going to say in 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's all they wrote, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. The polls are closed. Now, of course, there was a $20 to the underdog donation, which bumps. It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered. ladies and gentlemen, the new money. It wouldn't have mattered. The new money wins. Evie has won the duel. The Saturday Showdown goes to Evie. Tomboy supremacy reigns above all. In fact, I'm going to give the updated final. 172.
Nice.
172 to 144. I think that was a very interesting showdown. I'm surprised Evie won, but a welcome surprise. Rolling with the 5 saying, I believe in second chances, but I believe he needs to keep his head on a swivel because I'll expect those videos on Sykkuno. Also, add to Evie. Gotcha. And 18 wheels and a drum with a 10 saying, Evie, got you as well. But congratulations to Evie. W stream, thank you guys for hanging out today. We're about to go get some dinner.
Yay.
Because Straw Baby is hungry. Straw is hungry. And, yeah. That's it. Thank you guys for hanging out today. Thank you for the memberships, for the supers, and just being here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, or night. Enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you all. And
peace.
Peace.
Oot.
Oot.